Hi BookTube, it's Gina. Happy Friday. Now, you know I am planning my 2024 reading this year. I don't really do a ton of goals, but I've been having a lot of fun picking books off of my shelf and making some lists of things I would like to read. I'm not requiring myself to get to them. I'm not doing a read what you own challenge, but I've been having a lot of fun pulling some books off my shelves. So I was going to do a 10 fantasy books that I want to read, but I realize I'm probably not realistically going to read 10 fantasy books or series this year. And I've got a big stack of books here, most of which I'm just not that familiar with. So I thought I would bring it to you, see if you have any suggestions for which of these I should pick up. I plan to pick them all up at some point. All of these, except for one, I purchased really from recommendations from BookTube that I've gotten. And so I'm sure they're all going to be wonderful. And I just haven't really read any really great fantasies recently. I read the Mistborn series here a few years ago. Loved the original trilogy. During the pandemic, I read the entire Realm of the Elderling series, which was one of the funnest reading experiences I've ever had. It was just fantastic. And I'm not necessarily trying to replicate that because all of these books aren't series, but I just really want to dig into some really good, fun fantasy this year. So let me know down below if you have any thoughts on any of these I already have. I'm also not opposed to new recommendations. So if you have recommendations for other fantasies that you've loved, let me know. So the first two are actually the only two that I did not purchase. These were Christmas presents. This is Flamebringer by Elle Katharine White. I think this is YA. This is really the only one I don't know anything about. It also says it's a Heartstone novel, so I'm not sure if this one is maybe part of a series. I might need to do a little bit more research on that, but let me know if you know anything about this, if this is a standalone, if it's a series, and yeah, what your thoughts are on it. So this is really the only one I don't know anything about. And then the next Christmas present that I got was The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heap by H.G. Parry. This one I've been seeing all over BookTube, and I do really want to get to it. I mean, look at that. Look at that cover. It's got books on the front, and it says it's a sparkling debut, the ultimate book lover's fantasy. For his entire life, Charlie Sutherland has concealed an unusual ability he can't quite control. He can bring characters from books into the real world. So that sounds wonderful. I'm pretty sure this is a standalone. I don't think it's a series or anything. So this is definitely a possibility. I've also got, this is I think a little bit more sci-fi than fantasy, but this is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin, which has been on my want to read imaginary list in my head forever, but I just haven't gotten to it. So that's a possibility. Next is Titus Groan by Melvyn Peake. Look at that cover. This one I also really don't know much about. The New Yorker says it's a gorgeous volcanic eruption, a work of extraordinary imagination. I hear that this one is rather dense. It's also the first in a series. The Gormenghast series. So I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on that one? Next, I have got Daggerspell by Katharine Kerr. It's hard to get a good shot of this cover. Sorry about that. Look at this beautiful edition. I have this one and I have the next one. I'm not sure if it's just a duology, but I found two at the used bookstore. I had seen this recommended by Kit. Oh gosh, I can't remember Kit's channel name. He hasn't been around for a while. He did a booktube channel and then he transitioned to doing van life videos, which I loved. But I haven't seen him for a while. I hope he's still around. But this looks really beautiful. Another one I just don't know anything about. This says, discover a realm beyond dreams, beyond consciousness, beyond eternity. A magical land where time and space mean nothing, where danger and desire float on the boundaries of imagination. And look at this. It's got a map on the end papers. Just gorgeous. I've still got the, the receipt. I'm going to get rid of that. That can go in the garbage. Next, this might be the least likely one, or the one most out of my comfort zone. This is Malice by Gwynne. Even the brave will fall. This, I believe, is going to be more of a maybe violent-ish, grimdark type of war fantasy, which might not be my favorite. I'm not sure. This has just got great reviews. It's big, it's chunky, it's part of a series. So I really do want to read this one eventually, but I'm not sure about it. So what do you think? Next, I have got Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier. And I've heard wonderful things about this one. So this is definitely on the list. I've got this adorable little mass market paperback here. I don't think this is a series. Oh, it is. Book 1 of the Seven Waters Trilogy. So this is also a trilogy. So that's good. That's a plus because I'd really like to kind of settle into something big and juicy. Which the next one definitely would lend itself to big and juicy. This is Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erikson, the first in the Malazan book of the Fallen. I know this is a very long series. It's got lots of books. Sounds complex, which is not a bad thing in my book. And I've heard so much about this. This would be a really long series to really dig into. So it might fit the bill. But I'm trying to decide if I want like a war, what would I call this one? I don't know, just a big long fantasy series. Or here's my next option, which I have a feeling is sort of bumped up to the top of the list. And this is the Soldier Son trilogy by Robin Hobb. And I just bought these 3 books. I saw Juan at Just Juan Reader recently talking about this in his top 10 favorites of 2023, which reminded me that I've been wanting to read this series forever, never gotten around to it. So I went ahead and just bought these mass market paperbacks, and I have a feeling this might be it. I love Robin Hobb. This is a 3-book series. The first one is Shaman's Crossing. And look at that. Boats, water, castles. Looks pretty good. Second one is Forest Mage. And the third is Renegade's Magic. So I have a feeling that I might have decided which I'm going to start with. I might start with the Shaman's Crossing first. But what do you think? Do you think that would be a good one to start with? What about the others? I have bandwidth to read more than just one series. So I'm trying to sort of make a list of some fantasies that I want to get to in 2024. So let me know what you think. If you have any advice, if you have any other things that you think would be wonderful that I would love, I'd love to hear them. And I will talk to you later. Bye.